Ready to upgrade your dating game? Introducing Paul's ultimate online dating course for men. Master the art of online dating and discover Paul's genius method to meet amazing women off the apps. The real secret sauce? Discover how to leverage Facebook and Instagram to meet amazing women in your local area. Not all hot women are on dating apps, but every woman on the planet is on social media. Learn how to find and connect with them with this revolutionary course. Say goodbye to swipe fatigue and hello to meaningful connections. Ready to transform your dating life? Click the link in the description now and start your journey to success today.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the DragonShip. Thor isn't feeling so well, so I'm taking the helm today. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit those notifications. Please sound off in the live chat too. That helps make these go much smoother. And for the love of God, don't be so stingy with those super chats. Brother's got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying?
We already have one.
Joining me on the panel today is my man Mike Steele, rocking that sweet Hawaiian shirt. What's going on, man?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Drakars. It's good to be here. Thank you for the invite. It is a beautiful day here in Vegas. Tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday. We are gearing up. We are getting crazy and loud.
Who do you got? Who you rooting for?
Kansas City, of course, because the government controls all these things. Don't you know?
Don't you know? Don't you? The only real sport is pro wrestling. Everything else is a work. You know what I'm talking about?
What about UFC, man? Come on.
Yeah, it's a work too. Watch any of John Fitch's stuff. It's pretty fascinating.
The power slap last night, that was pretty good.
Yeah. Speaking of Vegas, WWE was just in town, and they put out their live conference from the T-Mobile Center about WrestleMania, and the Rock was there and everything like that. And so we finally found out that Cody Rhodes is going to get to finish his story. If you guys know what's going on with that, most of you guys probably don't, because I'm the only wrestling nerd here. But
you mean masculine soap opera nerd?
Yes, exactly. Masculine soap opera. Exactly.
I don't know. Wrestling seems pretty cool. I think wrestling is pretty cool. I mean,
yeah, Nuke and I, we can hang out. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to go to a show, but I don't have it. They do them in Dallas all the time. Come on, AJ, let's go.
Yeah, maybe. But man, I'm all about the Attitude Era.
It's coming back, dude, because Vince is gone and Triple H is in charge now, man. It's starting to get good again. Good. Maybe it's good time to tune in. It's a good time to tune in.
I miss my Stone Cold days.
There's a guy now, he goes by LA Knight. LA Knight is rad, dude. He's like the next Rock, the next Stone Cold type guy. And he's awesome. Yeah. So Nuke, what's going on with you, man? You just hosted another episode of Rule Zero. You're kind of a big deal. This is what, your third episode hosting or something?
Yeah, second and then fourth appearance. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot for watching Rule Zero. My bad. I should have redirected to your channel, Paul. I don't know how to do that on YouTube yet, but I'll figure it out. That way, next time I host Rule Zero, we could just redirect to the Dragons and get more engagement. But yeah,
well,
basically,
if you're hosting Rule Zero and then you're also going to be on the DragonShip, just redirect it to your channel. That's cool, man.
Okay. But anyways, yeah, guys, Twitter, YouTube, all the things. I'll put my link tree in the chat. Patreon's up. I post articles every week, kind of mindset stuff, guys. There's a lot of noise out there, and I want you guys to kind of like Ryan says, not tell you what to think, but how to think. And the Patreon chat's open if you guys want to get in there, talk about whatever, whether it be sports, anime, girls. We'll just chat and I'll share my experiences on a more personal level and all that. So yeah, that's what I got. And oh yeah, my ass in bio.
Explain that. I think I know what you're talking about.
But it's the Twitter bots.
Yeah,
it's what everyone's like kind of getting annoyed about, where like you post something and then that like an OnlyFans bot comes in and says my ass or my link in bio or my ass in bio.
Oh,
and it just kind of ruins. It's just kind of funny that like Elon worked so hard to like get all the bots off the app, but they're just all back, and all the porn bots are back, all the He got rid of the political bots, but now all the porn bots are back. So
that's
so
funny.
yeah.
AJ, what you got going on, man?
So I was gonna edit my motorcycle detail video and finish doing my second run on your course so I can get the notes ready so I can do a live stream tomorrow night. But my I think my slave cylinder went for the 4th time in the Gulf, so I'm halfway done taking the transmission out.
Okay, cool. I just noticed Stream Elements in the chat there saying save 25%. You guys can't. You guys missed out. If you guys didn't use the coupon, you're screwed.
Country Boy 25.
Country Boy 25 expired last night at midnight, so I gotta fix that.
Rest in peace, Toby Keith.
Oh yeah, poor Toby Keith. You know what's funny is I'm wearing a TNA hat today, and Toby Keith was on TNA Wrestling back in the day, and there was a video going around saying, rest in peace, Toby Keith, the guy who suplexed Jeff Jarrett for his sins. I thought that was hilarious. All right, let's see here.
Well,
we'll update Stream Elements here. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we get into it, I just have to share this with Nuke and I from the other day. I think, was it yesterday or the day before? I loved this. Yes, don't show me this again.
My ass in bio. Oh yeah.
What does that say?
Ooh.
St. Valentine's Day massacre wall.
Oh, Jesus.
Why are you, as a man, already planning Valentine's Day? Because my Tommy gun ain't gonna load itself.
Nice.
That's terrible. All right. Let's delete this comment from Stream Elements just because that's going to screw everybody up. All right, guys. So we are talking about meeting maidens, meeting shield maidens out in the middle of nowhere, and how difficult that could be. How to find these shield maidens when you live in the middle of nowhere. So I just kind of want to go around the panel here. Mike, you live in Vegas, right? There's lots of hot chicks in Vegas. You can literally throw a penny and hit a hot chick in the tits somewhere in Vegas, right? Hit them somewhere. Oh, we're not at the 8-minute mark. Damn it! This is all going to get demonetized.
Get them in the memory.
Guys, send super chats. I just ruined it for us. So
15 seconds.
Mike, so Mike, so you live in Vegas, but you didn't always live in Vegas, right? Did you ever live in a rural area, or have you always lived in sort of like a big city type area, or at least a suburb?
I would say once the dating app started becoming a thing, the most rural area I lived in would be a town in Oregon. I don't want to dox myself too much here. It was a medium-sized college town. And so, yeah, there were college gals, but the town was not like a city. So I would say that's the most rural, and I had pretty good luck up there too.
Now, so it was a college town, decent amount of chicks. Like, how far would you have to go for a date?
Oh, me, 15, 20 minutes down to like the crawl where all the pubs and restaurants were. Okay,
that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Nuke, we talked about this a little bit last week on Rule Zero, but you said that during COVID, you spent time out in a little bit of a rural area, right?
Yeah, Beaumont, Texas. Population about like 90, 100,000 people, but it's like an hour and a half away from Houston. And I used to live there during the pandemic. I found a job out there. Working for an electrical company, but for electrical engineering company. And I fired up those dating apps, and I learned a lot about dating outside of a major city. I don't know if 100,000 counts as a cow pasture, but there's certainly lots of cows out there. But yeah, I picked up a lot of stuff in terms of both females and actual animals,
Yeah.
And I picked up a lot of stuff, a lot of interesting things. Like there's not a lot of places to take women. There's like in a big city like that, it was like 4 good places, which was good. So you have to get used to like bartenders seeing you with new girls every month. You have to get used to so that's why I learned, like, hey, tip your bartenders well, because then
they'll keep their mouth shut.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut. Also understand too that like there's a big live music scene out in the country, like a lot of local touring artists, which is always a good vibe. It's just like a calming vibe. So it's something I whenever there was a live music, whether it be maybe punk rock or country, I would just, hey, let's go catch the show. And then, they didn't play too loud and all that stuff. And yeah, it's just a different vibe. But women are women, regardless if they're in the country or in the city. So same things apply, but you're just gonna have to tweak things, and don't lose hope because you don't live in a major metro, right? There's girls everywhere,
Yeah. So you said about 100,000 people. That I would not categorize that as a small town. So like Grand Junction, that's the closest big city to me. That their population is about 60,000.
Oh yeah, you're in the country.
Yeah. And the closest big town to me is Delta, Colorado. The population there is only about 9,000 people.
Wow.
So 9,000 people there. The town north of me in Cedar Edge, Colorado is about 6,000 people. And largely in this area, it's all like retirement age people. So like if I go out, like people talk about, well, go out, day gaming, go out and go to meet girls at the supermarket. It's the best place to meet girls. You go to the supermarket in Cedar Edge, Colorado. We call it the Mercantile. The Mercantile, there's all just, 70-year-old retiree women there. I mean, if you're into grandmas, like, yeah, dude, yeah, shoot your shot, bro. But
hey, man, those G-MILFs need love too.
Those gilfs, money. The gilfs, right? So. I was just gonna say, out in rural areas, it's a lot harder to meet eligible women than it is for guys in big cities, right? You go like Vegas, right? Like there's an infinite amount of hot chicks in Vegas.
You'll just stumble on hot chick,
Yeah. All you have to do is walk around the Vegas Strip with a pro wrestling belt, and like they come up to you. They come up to you. We've
I've heard.
Yeah, Glenn Lawrence and I proved that
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Oh no. They do. They come up and they got their titties out and everything. It's amazing.
I got too many friends in Vegas. If I go there, I'm gonna have to spend like a full week there to see. Like,
I feel you because I'm going in June at the end of June. It's like fuck.
Yeah. I gotta like Mike, you're there, right? So I gotta probably we'll have a drink or obviously, and I'm gonna be so lost because I've only been to Vegas on a connecting flight, so I'd be like, what do I do, guys? Show me a good place.
That's why you go and you hang out with Mike. He takes you to a nice steakhouse, and there you go. Yeah.
Oh wait, but like
the best way for me to describe Vegas, it's like adult degeneracy meets Disney World.
It's lovely. Yeah, it's great. It's expensive though. If everything
you don't have to sell it to me, I'm already sold.
Yeah, just shut up and take my money.
Shut up and take my money.
Paul, you only think it's expensive because I don't know how often you're going to come out here, so I want to take you to the best of the best. If you want, we can see the third Vegas. There's 3 Vegases. I can show you third Vegas.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Like I'm a simple dude, like
Okay.
take me to a Waffle House. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. Even though they're probably doing a child trafficking deal in the table next to you,
Not my problem. Not my problem.
Actually,
I love me some Waffle House though.
Legit, gal got trespassed where I work, and they did some digging, and she was in fact a human trafficker.
Good Lord. Brother Nathan here from Beer Club says there's 12,000 in his large town. Yeah,
that's tiny.
AJ, you're out in Texas. You ever spend any time in a small town?
I grew up in a small town, man. Like less than 1,000 people in my hometown.
Ooh.
Like it took 6 towns to feed my high school, and it was 400 kids, 12th or 9th through 12th grade. Like my graduating class, I think was like 86.
Okay. That sounds like where I grew up in Conifer, Colorado, and it was very small area there. But when I was a teenager, I mean, what did you leave after high school or?
Yeah, literally 2 months after I graduated high school, or within a month. Sorry, I graduated like Father's Day weekend was my graduation from high school, and then June 16th was my enlistment date, or July 16th was my enlistment date.
Okay.
So,
and I'm assuming it was very similar experience to me then, because growing up in the area I grew up in, which you dated a lot of the high school girls, right? The girls you either went to high school with or the
next
other
high
local
school over.
The next high school over. So yeah, a lot of my girlfriends went to Conifer High School or they went to Platte Canyon High School. If we didn't have any girls, we would all hop in a car and go down to Denver and like hang out down in Denver, where there was more chicks and stuff like that. But there was
it'd be like an hour and a half drive to Burlington. Vermont,
Okay.
which is like the biggest city in the entire state. The sad thing is about Vermont is Fort Worth itself, which is the biggest city next to me, has 100,000 more people in it than the entire state of Vermont.
Okay. So you're from, is Vermont the state, the lover state? Is that what that is?
And
Virginia's for
Oh, that's
lovers.
Virginia. Virginia's
yeah.
Virginia's for lovers. I thought Vermont was.
Nah,
Virginia, the
Vermont's
most boring
Bernie
state in the world.
Sanders,
With dumb
Ben and
liquor
Jerry's ice
laws.
cream and Burton snowboards
Oh, okay.
and
my
Luger
bad.
firearms.
Now, I'm legitimately curious. I've never done this, but since you three guys have grown up in the more remote areas, for a date, have you ever done that kind of like that Nicholas Sparks romantic shit where like you literally lie on a blanket out in the middle of a field and gaze at the stars?
Actually,
I have done that.
Okay.
during COVID, that was like not lay out in a blanket in the middle and look at the stars, but that was sort of my MO when I was going out dating because everything was shut down.
Yeah.
But like a lot of guys, it was funny during COVID, a lot of guys, because I was in a men's group, the 3% man group on Facebook. A lot of guys in that group were like afraid of COVID and afraid of going out, and so they were just like stuck at home. But then they're like the other half of the guys in the group were out killing it, just out, because there was plenty of chicks that were bored at home. It was like made dating.
Because if half the guys give up.
Yeah. Right. It was great. And so since nothing was open, you would just tell a chick like, hey, why don't you meet me at the park? I'll smuggle a bottle of wine in my backpack and we'll meet each other at the park. So I'd spend like almost nothing. I had these plastic wine glasses that would go in a backpack, and we'd sit there. We would sit there, have drinks or whatever. Second date, it was like, why don't you come over to my house? I'll cook you dinner. And it was like, bam, bam, done deal, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was so much easier dating during COVID than any other time in history.
You know, the thing is about Texas, like I think we locked down for like 3 weeks, like complete lockdown, or 2 weeks, complete lockdown. And then like they said, hey, they were smart and they said, hey, you can get liquor to go now.
You can
So
still
like,
like
that's a
date.
DoorDash liquor to this day.
Yeah, you can just pre-order at a restaurant or something. Pick up a jug of like, I don't know, whatever liquor, like jugs, like get like milk gallons of liquor. You pick up the girl, you park somewhere at a park, or you know, maybe your backyard, and you just drink. And then you got your reason. You can't, you know, you can say, hey, we can't go out, we can't, you know, we have to do this, and if we want to see each other. She's like, okay, you know, and to her, you're like, you know, you pay $20 for a jug for vodka, but you know, you're having a date. Because
hell yeah, Texas.
Yeah.
So
How often
Texas
do you come to my side of the metro?
Fort Worth, only for work now.
Dude,
I used to have a friend
on 370 Denton Highway in Watauga. There's an actual drive-in liquor. Like you drive into it, you tell them what you want, and then they bring it to the car, and you like.
Oh yeah, we have
food drive-through.
We have drive-through liquors all around here. It's awesome.
Yeah, but that was really smart of Texas to do, because like people are gonna go crazy. They're gonna start hurting each other. You know, let's give them some booze to calm down. I'm like, that was.
They do that everywhere.
I love that they understand human behavior. You know?
Whiskey is the opiate of the people.
They did that everywhere. They made liquor stores and like out here in Colorado, the drug dispensaries, essential businesses. So those were open.
Weed is essential.
Gyms aren't.
Oh, it was good time. It was actually good times. A lot of people were complaining about you know, everything being shut down and how terrible that year was. I was like, dude, 2020 was rad. I loved it.
I mean, I felt lonely because I just got out of the military, but then I still dated, like and I think it was a different vibe. It was like a much more, everyone was so hunkered down into their own world again that it's like people were different. Now everyone's trying to be famous again and have a brand, but it was like a different thing. It was just fun, you know. I had a blast.
I miss the traffic, dude.
Oh yeah, just get it from point to point.
COVID traffic was awesome. I could get from Irving, where I work, to Lake Worth, where I was dating a chick, in like 20 minutes. It was like a 34-mile drive.
Yeah, you could punch it.
That's honestly one of the perks of living out in the middle of nowhere is we don't have traffic. The only time we really have traffic where I'm at is twice a year when they're doing a cattle drive up the mesa. And then they bring the cattle back down about 6 months later. That's the only time there's traffic jams out here.
And then they bring them to Fort Worth to sell them in January, because right now is the stock show.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, but so let's talk about how you meet gals out in places like where I'm at, right? Where you go out, you can't do cold approach because there's no cold approach in the cow pasture. That's the name of the course. If you wanted to go day gaming at all, you would have to drive an hour out of the way to go to the nearest big town, right? Grand Junction, there is a college there, so there are, young chicks there, but you'd have to drive an hour. And then when you're out, specifically going out cold approaching, like one of the drawbacks to it is that you're sort of limited to that small geographical area that you're in at that moment. And you're hoping that there's going to be eligible chicks there at that same time. And so that's one of the drawbacks to that. It can be convenient if you're just out and about anyway, and you're just a social person and you just happen to meet chicks. But man, a lot of times I go to the mall and there's all just, another big problem with living out in the middle of nowhere is a lot of the chicks, they have no competition. So they just let themselves go. So there's a lot of heifers out here, right? There's a lot of big
the sweet tea, man. The sweet iced tea.
Dude, it's not the sweet tea. I see that the same thing when I go back up to Vermont to visit family. They're either obese or they're extremely skinny because of the drug usage.
Yeah.
God.
Right.
Like fentanyl and meth are like huge up in Vermont, man.
Oh, meth is a big problem out in Paonia, which is like a smaller town just east of me. They cook meth out there, right? It's terrible. So you're trying to find these like hot chicks is super hard. Like you go out and about, like you don't necessarily see attractive, eligible women wherever you go. So cold approach is sort of not viable out here. Social circles. I was a part of a runners club out here. It was all old people. It was actually mostly old women. I stopped going because there was a couple of dudes in that club that were cool and I would hang out there. But when those guys stopped going, it was just me and a bunch of like older ladies. I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to go, I'm going to go run on my own,
You gotta go where the fish are.
Right. I'm into geocaching. I one time tried to go to a geocaching meetup to hopefully meet, some like-minded people. It was all fucking old people. And I was like, okay, this social circle game is not a viable option out here either. Local bars and stuff like that. You go to the bars out here, there's no consistency in the bars out here. There might be like one time a year that one of the bars might be hopping. The rest of the time, it's all dead. It's just a fucking dead as a doornail. It's hard to meet people in person in rural areas.
You would say like a sporting event, like a Super Bowl party or something, you'll find a lot of hot chicks at a bar?
You might, but still, it's a lot of the same heifers that you find everywhere else.
Okay.
Mike, you wanted to say something?
No.
No. I thought you looked like you wanted to say something. All right.
No,
So anyway, so that's why I wanted to come up with my course because a lot of the advice online from a lot of the dating coaches you see online is for guys like in my situation is, well, you got to move to a big city, bro. Like there's just no chicks in your area. You're just gonna have to move to a big city. And I was like, well, in my situation, I couldn't because I have a parenting agreement. If I wanted to move to a bigger city, I would have to give up custody of my kids. That's not an option, And I know there's millions of other dudes out there in a very similar situation because of the divorce rate, So for whatever reason, we can't leave where we're at to go fishing in big ponds. We can't go be passport bros and whatever, right? Because we have obligations. So that's why I wanted to develop my course, and I call it No Cold Approach to the Cow Pasture for guys like that. But the thing is, it's really about online dating, and that works everywhere. Are all you guys on apps?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because apps get a bad rap. Nuke, why do you think apps get such a bad rap in this space?
Oh man, there's so much psychology going in here. I could talk about this all day, but to wrap it up, there's one of the biggest issues with dating apps is that it's a buffer for rejection, right? So guys that have never been like rejected by women or just rejected like by an employer, just talked down to or anything, they got on these dating apps and then they take it so personally when girls don't even like they don't get good results or something like that, instead of kind of being more analytical about it. So it's like I always say, once in a while, you need to approach a girl in real life. You know, I know that the cow pasture is nearly impossible, but like you need to get like you need to get that kind of like toughness about you about getting rejected, because Tinder is not going to build that. So that's something that if you have the opportunity, talk to a girl once in a while. It doesn't have to be the hottest girl, just to a woman, so you can at least get that kind of like, hey, this girl didn't like me on Tinder, I'm ugly. No, dude. There's so many more things going on. Also, most of the dudes on dating apps suck. You know, they have shitty profiles. They have, you know, especially out in the country. I don't know, Paul, if you talk, I'm sure you talk about this in your course, but like holding dead animals. I think hunting is cool. I think fishing is cool. I think that 100 years ago, women would, women would appreciate that, would find that attractive. But now women don't need us to hunt and fish. So, you know, guys just need to care. Just need to care a little bit more. So, you know, I think a lot of guys think they're very entitled to they think that dating apps is like Uber Eats, where it's just like you punch into something and you get something out. Like, you know, it's a game of numbers. You make yourself the best you can so you can get in a certain tier of men, and you don't want to be in the bottom 80, and you're aiming for the best you can do with your situation, right? Which is what your course is based on. So
insert money, get woman.
Exactly.
So
Don't
Mike
see it like
sharing this picture I shared on social media. The funny thing is a chick sent this to me. A gal that's been on the podcast numerous times. Her name is Morgan May. She's a hot chick, and she and I talks about girl game, and that's what her online presence is. She tells girls like how to get rich dudes, and so I like having her on the podcast and stuff. And she sent me this picture, and I was like, oh my god, this is the perfect example of guys saying, hey, dating apps don't work, but meanwhile they don't know how to fucking text, you know?
Hey, I'll give this guy credit where credit's due. At least he acknowledges that he doesn't know what he's doing and informs her of that, which takes some balls. I'll give him credit.
Yeah, but still, it's like guys are out there like this, and they have no idea what they're doing, and then they're like, it doesn't work, fuck this. And it's like, no, bro. It's not that dating apps suck, it's that you suck with them, and it's just a muscle that you have to train. You have to get better at it. That's all it comes down to.
Yeah, and just don't take it personally. Don't take it so personally. They don't know you, you know. If a girl rejects you or ghosts you, it's not, you know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna flex here a minute, guys. I'm gonna flex here. Here's how you do it.
Wait, can you? I can't see that.
Zoom in a bit.
Yeah, can you zoom in on this maybe?
1 second.
Need a bigger monitor, Paul.
No, I just need better eyes. I'm old. Okay, I can see this good now. So it's the Vanna White style gesturing that does it for me. So I'm guessing in one of her pictures, she was
doing this.
Oh, okay. Nice. So that's a good opener, because you're opening based on something in her profile. It's custom for her.
You can kind of see her. She's a hot blonde.
Yeah. So she's you're not opening with a, hey, what's up? What you doing? Hey, beautiful. Like it you know, anything that will get lost in the sauce. You're opening with something unique. So that's good. One thing, we actually showed this. I did a stream on text banter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is scroll up a little bit where you you did that. She responds with LOL, which is a fucking very low interest, low investment response. And a lot of guys are like, what the fuck do I do with this? And normally what I tell guys, right? Like rule of thumb is you want to stay one level of investment lower than what the girl's doing. But in this case, you have to break the rules to keep the conversation going. So you asked her a question.
Change.
Yeah. So you asked her a question. Do you like wine? Which brought the conversation back into, into something that she would answer. Right. And then you bust her chops here when she says, I don't drink. And you're like, oh, sody pops and burgers at the sock hop then. Like you bust on her a little bit. Like that's good, you know? So this is a great example of how you text and banter and you have fun with it, you know? And then you go in for a close here, like in all seriousness, Friday night, 7 p.m., gastro, tapas, and wine. Like, and you're not asking her, hey, what do you like to do? Where do you want to go? All the bullshit that a lot of guys do, you have a plan in mind and you say, meet me here at this place at this time. It's like
my biggest,
so many more yeses.
It's the biggest complaint. Yeah, it's the biggest complaint. Women, sometimes when I'm on a date or I have female acquaintances, I always ask them, I gather data and I say, hey, like, so how's dating for you? And it's just like the biggest complaint is that guys don't have a plan.
Because what I had to learn when I used to be a bad dater, I used to do all the same shit, right? I had to figure out what the fuck I was doing wrong, right? And that was one of the most mind-blowing things to me was chicks just want to show up looking hot. They want the guy to set the tone and lead and have a plan, and women actually like being told what to do. So what Dr. Robert, I talk about it in my book, right? The 3 T's. I learned it from Dr. Robert Glover. But he talks about tease, touch, and tell. If you tell a woman what to do, you're in the frame of you're in a higher position of her, which is what they want at the end of the day with hypergamy anyway.
It sets the tone. You're telling them, hey, I'm the type of man that has a plan, that I'm the leader. Like, and the thing is cool. It's a good filter too, because you give plans and the girl's like, or like she filtered herself out. You don't have to waste time going on a date with someone. Like, why would you want to be on a date with someone that doesn't want to, acknowledge that you are the leader?
Right. A lot of guys ask me, they're like, well, how do you make a girl like follow you? And it's like, you don't make them. You test their ability to follow your lead. And if they don't, because some women won't, some women just won't. And they just filter themselves out, just like Nuke says. So you test their ability to follow your lead by telling them what to do. If they say, oh yeah, sounds good, and just go along with it, well, this chick is following your lead, and you'll find that a majority of women respond very well to that. And you don't have to be a dick about it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the most important things when you're building your Tinder openers and questions and lines and stuff like that is that you want to filter for investment, interest, because a lot of girls use it just for attention, right? And they're really good at hiding their intentions, right? So you got to like build questions, and once you get to that point where that's why it's so important to throw plans out, because a lot of women, they'll stop there and then they'll either ghost or be like, hey, or whatever, or give you like, hey, no, I can't. How about in 2 weeks? That means no,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to. A lot of frustration from men in dating apps because it comes from they can't identify when a girl's wasting their time, and that's why it's important to like look at these courses like Paul's, because everyone will say, oh, it's a grift. These RP guys are grifting. I'm like, no, dude. You know how much time and energy I would have saved if someone would have taught me how to know when a girl's wasting my time. I think that's your most valuable resource is time. So if someone can teach you how to not get your time wasted, I think that's a good investment,
Yeah.
So
it's like another thing from Paul's course I'm going to go over in depth when I do my review is the using Facebook. Like, I always hear like Fresh and Fit talk about it, or say MLD talk about using the Instagram and Facebook, the regular version, to do your dating, and no one ever talks about how to do it. And I'm so glad Paul put that in his course. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to do a stream on it this week if you guys want to know more about that. But it's if you guys take the course, you'll see how much fucking fun it is to do it. It's like Amazon shopping for chicks, and a lot of I learned about this. I learned about this from my friend Benny, who I give him full credit in the course for teaching me this. But the thing about it is, you often hear like, oh, the hot chicks aren't on dating apps. One, that's not true. There are plenty of hot chicks on dating apps, but not every hot chick is on a dating app, because a lot of them don't like the dating apps. They don't necessarily need to be on dating apps. And so how do you meet these chicks? Well, there's different ways, right? There's cold approach, there's social circle. But there's also social media, because every hot chick on the planet is pretty much on social media. And what you'll find, especially with Facebook, because I show how to do it on Instagram too, but it's not as granular. On Facebook, you can get really granular and find chicks that are like 10 minutes from you, even in the countryside. And you're like, oh shit, I didn't even know this chick existed. And you get to sort of filter these women out based on what you like, right? Because on dating apps, you're sort of served the available women on the dating app. But on Facebook,
sometimes you have to pay for pay super premium prices to I think Hinge is the only one where you don't have to pay. You can be like, I want a South Asian 20 to 25-year-old, but then that's gonna narrow it too much. But
you run out real fast on Hinge if you do that.
Yeah.
I've noticed, for me personally, the quality of women on the dating apps, I find Tinder at the top, then Bumble. Hinge is like bottom barrel, next, like slightly above Plenty of Fish.
It really depends on your area, what apps are good because you'll like out here. When I was on the dating apps, there was very little women on Hinge out here. It might be better now, but when I was on it like 3 years ago, I would go on Hinge. There might be like 4 chicks, literally 4 chicks, and then you'd be done swiping. And so one of the things I teach in my course, especially for guys out in cow country, is you got to be on all the apps because not like a lot of chicks, they look at Tinder like, oh, that's only for hookups. So they won't go on Tinder, but they'll be on Match, or they'll be on Bumble, but they won't be on Match or something. Like, so you got to sort of cast a wider net out here. In a city, you might not have to do that, right? You might just be on Hinge, just be on Tinder, or maybe three apps or something like that. But
yeah, and that doesn't mean you're paying for all of them all at once, guys. I do a rotation. So I'm on all apps, and then I do 1 month of Tinder, let it lapse, 1 month of Bumble, let it lapse, 1 month of Hinge, let it lapse, and I just go round robin.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do 6 months. I pay for my Tinder 6 months at a time, and I keep it going. Then Bumble's quarterly, and then I don't pay for anything else.
That's actually a good topic about paying for apps because this came up in Beer Club chat. Were you reading that conversation, Mike or AJ? No,
I think I missed that one.
Oh man, it was like 2 or 3 nights ago. One of the guys in Beer Club he was going on. He was like negative spiraling downward.
Oh,
right?
Was it the guy who had the?
We won't name names.
Yeah.
I'm not naming names. Was the guy that had the breakup with the coworker and had to leave the job and all that
Yep.
stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. The classic.
I think he was just having a bad night.
Yeah. I legit think he was having a bad night, but he was spiraling downward, talking about how predatory these dating apps are and how you should never pay for dating apps. And I was like, I actually recommend it. I recommend if you want better results on dating apps and you can afford it, like pay for premium on at least 1 or 2 of the apps.
But you have to care though. You can't just like have shitty profile and then pay. Like
no.
you
gotta have like a really good one.
It's like when you get a house cleaner come to your house, you're not gonna leave your toilet full of poop and your sink full of rotting food. You're gonna at least be like, let me flush the toilet. So it's like you gotta be prepared for like when you pay for premium stuff. And I'd say too, one of the coolest things about premium is that you can change your location.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, you can go to this town, city over. If you're traveling, here's something that I do when I travel. Let's say I'm going to, I don't know, Phoenix, or maybe I'm going up to Oklahoma City, and I'm going to be there for 3 days for work or something. I just 2 days before I set my location there, and then I start swiping. And here's the thing: when you move location, you get shown the hottest girls first because Tinder's trying to like advertise itself, right? It's like resetting. Your ELO score resets when you go to when you change location. Mm-hmm. And that's why people that travel end up getting these hot chicks or girls to the hotter guys. Is because you're getting automatically boosted by changing locations. You can only get that with premium and if you don't, you're just gonna wait till you get there and you have a shorter window. So if you get 2 days head start before you travel, you're gonna get some hot girls. And then you'll meet, and then hopefully you get a nice hotel with the bar. I mean, I could talk all day about
and the women do it too. Like I'll be on Bumble. It'll say so and so is using travel mode, Las Vegas.
Yeah, and that's what I say. Like you guys can, like people can complain, or we can just find ways to win. I want to win, so
I want to win too. We actually got a double header here, Paul, if I may.
Go ahead.
Rusty Fuel, because we need to shout out our supporters here. Got to make sure we do that. Rusty Fuel here. Modern chicks don't know who Vanna White is. Well, the girl I was talking to on Bumble knew who Vanna White was, and that's all that matters.
She understood that reference, yeah.
But let's see here. Thank you very much, Rusty Fuel, for the $4.99 super chat. Do we have the sound effects, or do I have to do it myself?
AJ, you got sound effects?
I don't think mine will run. Well, I'm not running OBS right now, so let me go to the brand real fast.
I don't know. Thor has.
I don't think they're in there. I think it's just music.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's just
I'll do.
music.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it in case you don't have it.
I don't.
Odin.
Oh, that was solid. Yeah, we'll just
good.
have you voice these here. Oh, here I'll upload. Let's upload.
We need
these
to shame
whores.
these whores.
Yeah.
Let's upload this one here. Oh no, Thor's Thor's got too many sound bites here. We
fine,
can't.
it's fine.
We're
Thor.
screwed. We're screwed.
It's fine. But thank you for the $4.99 super
There's
chat.
one that says "Die, motherfucker." I wonder what that is.
It's probably the song.
Yeah, it's
These are all
Motherfucker,
songs.
Die,
yeah.
motherfucker, die. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, it's probably
like
that song.
Tech 9 or Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
Whoever,
But,
I think Tech 9 did the original.
But Rusty Fuel says, that is easy. Just jump into your Viking longship, sail to London or Paris, and pillage them.
Pretty much,
because
yeah.
he's talking about the thumbnail, right? Because pillaging when it's not a good option due to location, right? Well, the Vikings didn't use that excuse. They built fucking ships, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, there are no hot chicks here. There's no food. I just going to give up and die. No, build a boat and go get it.
Go get it.
What's also
yeah.
crazy about the Vikings is whenever they're raiding a certain area and they want to make trade deals with like the power in that area, they'd convert to that religion. So there was some Islamic Muslims running around in the Caucasus and stuff back in the day.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the great thing about Tinder is that Tinder is really accommodating for people that want to travel. You know, the globalized sexual marketplace. Mm-hmm. So if you guys have jobs that take you out of town once in a while, you know, Tinder's probably your first choice because Hinge isn't really friendly on people that change location. Hinge doesn't track your location as you move around. Hinge will just be like, this is your city, this is where you live, and they'll show you people from your city, and you can change it. But I think Hinge kind of like doesn't like it. The app doesn't like when you change it around. Hinge wants you to
ghosting you.
Yeah, Hinge wants you to get
find a
married
local
or-
girl and settle down
Yeah.
and delete the app. That's what
it's
it
like.
is.
Yeah.
Our job is for you to delete our app.
Yeah,
Yeah.
headquarters for Match.com and all these webs is like 5 minutes up the street from me. So I drive by it like twice a week.
So-
Find that location and just burn it down.
One thing I like about paying for the apps too, and I
Which
talked
sword?
in the course. One of the things I talk about is how you can actually be a little more passive on the dating apps too. And one of the things I used to like doing, and one of the reasons why I also say, hey, even though this course is called No Cold Approach to the Cow Pasture, it works for everybody, is when I would go to like Denver, right? If I go to Denver, there's way more chicks in Denver, and I would pay for like Bumble or Tinder, right? And when I would go there, my notifications would just fucking blow up because all these chicks were swiping right on me now that I'm in town. And so I did a TikTok about this, like, you know, a couple of years ago. And I was like, what the fuck is your excuse? If you live in a big city, there's no fucking excuse not to go out and be absolutely fucking killing it. Cause I was like, look at my beeline. It's just absolutely full. Out in the country, you don't get that. You know, you get to, you can see who swipes on you first, which is nice. Cause then you can say, do I want to talk to this bitch or not? And you go, no, right. But man, when you go to if you happen to travel to a bigger city, like you just get inundated with chicks, especially if your profile's optimized. You just get absolutely like inundated. And so you just have like almost like unlimited options when you go to a bigger city. So once you learn this stuff, you learn how to optimize your profile, you can have that, right? Even on the dating apps, you can have just a ridiculous amount of options.
Oh, don't forget to mention, Paul, the optimal time to boost.
Oh yeah, I do talk about that in the course too, because according to Tinder's statistics, their prime time is Monday nights at 9 p.m. And so if you're paying for premium,
Muted, AJ.
oh AJ, you're muted.
I was gonna say, yep, they try to tell you to do it at 6 p.m. on a Friday on the app itself.
And that nope, because they're already going on their date.
Yeah, and also you don't want to be using the apps on Friday or Saturday night. You don't, because you don't want to come across like a guy who has no options on a Friday or Saturday night, right? There's some game to this. I talk about that in the course too. But on Monday nights, Monday nights, 9 p.m. is statistically when they have the most usage on the app. So if you're paying for premium, you have boost options. That's the time to boost because you're all of a sudden you're going to get more swipes on you and stuff.
Because
by Wednesday or Thursday, you should have a date. And those are the Wednesday and Thursday are the best day. Like arguably Thursday is the best day to get to go on a date. Let's say you go on a date, things go well, you get laid, and then you enjoy your weekend. Let her chase you around for the weekend. You're probably already have plans. You're doing stuff.
Because on Monday nights, oh, go ahead.
Just to finish the point, Also, Valentine's Day is coming up. It's the second easiest day of the year to get laid besides Christmas. So it's like you super boost on Monday night, you chat a little bit, you set something up, maybe the day before, maybe Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and it's already it's Valentine's Day. Girls, regardless of how empowered and lonely and independent they are, they want to be with somebody, even if it's fake. So take advantage of that, guys.
Because on Monday night you got two types of women on the apps on Monday night. The women who are like, I want to date this Friday, let me start looking, and that date on Saturday or Sunday night was awful, let me find a better guy.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask Nuke the question, because I've noticed the last couple years being single on around Valentine's Day in DFW, we get inundated with a bunch of fucking fatties. Right before Valentine's Day. I'm like, what the hell? It's like all fat chicks. I'm like, God damn it. Left.
But that's the big difference between Hinge and Tinder, where Tinder, for Hinge, they do this thing, and their algorithm won an award for this, where they show you 5 hot chicks, and then 5 mid chicks, and then a couple fatties, and then they go back to the hot. Like, they keep switching around, right? So that keeps people on the app, right? Because if you swipe for like a week and you only see like unattractive women, you'll delete, and they know that, right? So you regardless of your ELO score, you'll always have the opportunity to meet hot women. Bumble is interesting because Bumble, a lot of college girls like that, so you'll get mostly attractive women on Bumble. But that's my experience. I guess experiences may vary. Tinder, you have to be kind of measured in your swiping. If you swipe too much, you're going to be stuck at the bottom for a long time. So what you do is like you take advantage of that Monday night. And also like you don't want to spend like random time swiping. Take your swiping seriously, set a time for swiping, boost it, and be smart. And that way you don't have to like be in a line at the bank or at a red light or at the gym swiping.
Well, maybe not at a red light.
Yeah, but like be mindful.
Don't tell me how to live my life, Mike.
Yeah,
I don't want you arrested, Paul. Damn it,
because of that information that Paul gave us, I'm actually saving my free boost for the month, which I just got like yesterday. I'm saving it for Monday night.
Well, what day is Valentine's Day?
I think
Wednesday. That's why I'm saying, like,
there you go.
Oh, I'm off.
That's what I'm saying. Wednesday. Like Wednesday will be the day, and the thing is, you have an excuse. You can be like, hey, everything's full. We just met. You want to come over? You want to go for something? You don't have to do the Valentine's dinner because you have a pretense.
I'll do the dreaded coffee date.
Yeah.
How dare you? Well, you work graveyards and shit, though.
Yeah. So
how dare you? Now, which of the Paul, you're in an LTR, but of the three of us, who is going to go to a popular restaurant in town on Valentine's night and look for the lonely crying woman at a table by herself?
I'm going to salsa night.
I'll go to Bedford Ice House at 3 a.m. right before they close, and then I'll go sneak in there.
Okay.
I am going to salsa night. I will be at a rooftop bar dancing salsa and bachata on Wednesday night. And my best, or not my best friend, one of my friends is the DJ. I know half the chicks there. I'll say hi to them, give them a hug, and then ignore them and go for the single ladies that are looking for love that night.
Man.
So
there you go.
I almost feel like this is
send me
evil.
The invite. Let's do some social games. Send me the invite.
I'll DM you, and you can come through, dude.
Gotcha.
But yeah, guys, like it's just. I like shows like this because it's like we're just trading notes. This is what the Red Pill is. It's always been about guys getting better, and some guys can, no one's better than anyone else. You guys in the chat probably have good notes to trade too. Ultimately, this is what it is. It's not like complaining, right? Yeah, we complain because men, we complain. That's what we do. They complain about us. I think that's healthy to complain.
It's always fun to dunk on chicks,
Yeah, and they dunk on us all the time. It's whatever, but at the end of the day, you can't stay mad forever. You got to move on. You got to find a way. And regardless if you're in the country or you're in the city or in between, you got to find a way because you're always going to like boobs. I'm 34 and I've liked boobs since I was like 11. And it's not gone away. It's gone worse,
Everybody loves boobs. Even chicks love boobs.
Yeah, and it's just like, what are you going to do?
You can't be out here being like, why is the sky blue? I want it to be red, damn it.
It's
frustrating. It's frustrating,
like
but you got to do something. Yeah.
It's the answer to everything. 42 boobs.
Yeah. So I had a list here about some of the pitfalls that I ran into or the struggles I ran into meeting quality women out in the countryside. I just want to get your guys' ideas on these, right? So, and some of these I've mentioned already, right? So, no consistency in bar clientele, right? Because a lot of times you can do pretty well in a well populated area just being a regular somewhere. If you go to a bar and you're a regular there and you get to know the people there, it's pretty easy it's almost like social circle game at that point. People start knowing you and stuff. So that's a good way of meeting people in general. But out here, there's no consistency. So you go to the bar and it's like the same people aren't there all the time. It's crazy. Large retirement area, mentioned that. Nearest big towns are an hour in each direction, right? And then again, no consistency. There's no nightclubs here. There's no salsa night, right? So Nuke's going out to salsa night. Man, if there was a salsa night, that would be I would say a high target area, right? A rich target area.
Target rich environment.
Right. And there was a place out here called My Place that was pretty busy. It was probably the most popular place out here for a while. And they would have karaoke nights and they would have line dancing nights. And it was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to go down there and learn line dancing and meet chicks. All the chicks that would show up for that were all fat heifers. So it was like, this fucking sucks. I don't know, whatever reason, the hot chicks out here didn't want to go out. They didn't want to go out to these meat markets, right? They're all, I don't know what their problem is, but you would find them online. So, let's see what else we got here. Talked about the social group meetup groups that they're all old people. In order to day or night game, right? You have to basically do 2 hours round trip. 2 hours round trip to even do that. So that is not it's a huge inconvenience. It's
like
not,
I did that when I lived in the Seattle area because it was either an hour drive to Seattle or an hour-long ferry ride because Bremerton, Washington, not a very good town for hookup because most people there are either military or married to the military or shipyard workers. So it's like, I'll go to Seattle and it's, like I said, either an hour drive or an hour ferry.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing too. A lot of the ladies out here, they get married like right out of high school, so there's like a lot of the
you need to pay your town a visit then.
Yeah. A lot of
Whisker way to Sin City.
A lot of cute chicks in my dating range were married or taken out here already, so you might see a chick that was attractive in the supermarket and you'd walk up and she'd have a ring on her finger or something. You're like,
I saw that like in Vermont growing up and stuff. Like a lot of the hot chicks I went to high school with are married to the guys they were dating in high school, and then like all the leftovers, again, like I said earlier, are drug addicts.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Sounds like a great town.
I mentioned it on Rule Zero last week too. I recommend being on all the dating apps, but the one dating app I don't recommend guys get on, especially if they live out in the country, is Farmers Only. Because Farmers Only, even though it's marketed towards country bumpkins, all you'll find on there are fucking cows. Like, you'll only find cows on that dating app. It's crazy. Like the women that actually live on farms and stuff like that, they are hardy, girthy women.
Shout out to Real Femme Sapien, Allie.
Allie's not a cow,
No, she's not, but she did a heifer stream. She did a glorious heifer stream a couple years ago. So
have you ever seen her? She does a couple streams where she dresses like one of those, like a male podcast host.
She dresses like Donovan,
and she's like those females out there. Allie's a hoot, man.
Well, we got a super chat here, and I imagine David's chat that followed is probably related to a super chat, so he'll get both here. Got a $2 super chat from David Coy.
Do the voice. Do the voice.
Odin.
That'll probably be the new Odin. We gotta like master it and all that.
Who's the master? Paul's the master. I'm betting woke YouTube wouldn't let him write the word master in the super chat. That's probably what's going on there.
It's like you can't call it master cylinder or slave cylinder anymore.
Who's the prettiest?
Systems.
Show enough. Yeah.
Look who's here.
Hey, if we had the sound drop, we would play it, Elena.
Shame these horse.
Yes.
Shame these horse.
Shame these horse, the greatest sound drop of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how David says who's the master. It's because when I got my master life coach certification, I did a whole bunch of videos about you playing the what was it, the Last Dragon fucking soundtrack, talking about who's the master, who's show enough shit.
It's like every module in your course starts off with a country song. That's my biggest gripe, and then followed up by, "Hi, I'm Paul Bauer, master certified life coach."
Yeah, man. Well, because in this course, I wanted to establish my credibility for giving this course, and so. But yeah, the country song is try that in a small town, right? Because that's
the song.
It's actually a perfect song for this chorus.
Well, the first time I heard that, I immediately thought about cold approaching. I'm like, well, try that in a small town, because fuck, it doesn't work. There's no opportunity for it out here. So you gotta master your online dating skills.
Nuke, you take this one.
Rusty Fuel. Let's see. Rusty Fuel with the $4.99. Thank you, sir. Learning to lead in salsa dancing teaches guys leading general. Oh yeah. There's something interesting that happens when you learn how to dance, and it doesn't have to be salsa. It could be two-step. There's two-step. Is also you have to lead, and there's a lot of spinning. Is first off, salsa night is a filter for boring girls, right? More often than not, I have gone to salsa night, and then you see the girls that don't know how to dance, but they're just happy to be there. They're twirling around and all. Same thing with two-step and all that stuff. And then there's the girls that like have all this makeup on. They just go to be out to be on their phones, and they show up and they're like, "Why aren't guys giving me attention?" They're like, "Why am I getting free drinks?" And I was like, "Because this is salsa night. This isn't simp night at the club, Yeah. Go somewhere else." And then they kind of hover around and they leave, right? And that's the interesting thing. Number two, you got to lead. Like you can't just let the girl pull you around. You have to lead the whole time. And the better you are at leading, the better she looks and the happier she is. And the more chance she'll look for you to get a next dance, right?
Nuke,
it's just the way it is.
Do you ever do the you kind of like salsa to her and go?
Oh, you do that during. Yeah, you do that during. Like there'll be a time where here's the fun part about salsa too, or bachata or any Latin dance is that you let her go. You push her off you, kind of like a push and pull, right? And she's gonna be a little nervous. She's gonna be like, "Oh crap!" Like I'm alone. And then I kind of like smile and I start doing some steps, and then I bring her back in, and she feels that relief because it's like a push and pull, kind of like, "Hey, without me, you're gonna flounder, but I got you. I'll save you before you start floundering." Right? It's so psychological, but and it happens for any dance, two-step, tango. There's always a point where you're kind of like freestyle, where you let the girl do the thing and you do the thing, and they're just begging for you, like with their eyes, to come in and save them from their independent, strong women dancing alone, But yeah, you do that during. You back off, and then you kind of like, you kind of guide her back in, and it's just fun. It's just a good time.
Dude, one of the sickest moves I ever saw was on Dancing with the Stars. I forget who the couple was.
Tucker Carlson.
He was on it. I don't think it was Tucker, but all I remember was at the end of the routine, they finished with the woman falling back, and he catches her, but then he drags her across the floor like a hunting trophy. I was like,
it was
dude, that was
Carol
dope.
Baskins.
Yeah.
Bitch Carol Baskin. That salsa dancing in general is just sort of a good thing for guys to learn, or at least the concept of leading, right? Because in a relationship, it's the same way. You can't have two leaders in the relationship, right? If you're both trying to lead the dance, you'll fuck up the dance. Someone has to lead. Same thing like driving your car. There could only be one person actually driving, one person behind the steering wheel. So same thing goes with the relationship. And it's on you as the man to learn how to do that. And you'll find that chicks respond well to a guy that's setting the tone and leading.
And no matter how woke the world gets, someone has to lead in salsa. Like the man, like it doesn't work. It physically does not work if the man doesn't lead. Like it just falls. You can't dance. Like there's nowhere to go. There's nothing you can do. And I just like that so much because guys will be in my mention like, "Oh, salsa, that's gay. That's effeminate." I'm just like, you don't understand, dude.
Oh,
like,
no,
you have to be the man. And what's crazy too? You can misstep, right? But as long as you laugh it off and you're just comfortable, you're like, "Yeah, I made a mistake." She's gonna laugh it off too, and And here's another thing. You can go up to girls that are better than you and be like, hey, will you help me practice? And they'll be more than happy to dance with you, right? So it's like so many lessons learned in terms of, I mean, you don't have to dance. A lot of guys just don't like it. But if you do, you're going to get a lot of game and kind of like intersexual dynamic lessons that are just timeless. Like, it is what it is. And I noticed that a lot of the feminist people that kind of like are all egalitarian about relationships and stuff like that, put them on a dance floor, put them with a hot guy, and it all goes away. They forget that they're feminists. They're like, oh, I'm so scared. I don't know how to dance. I'm like, I got you. I'll take care of you. I'll make sure that you look good. And they're just like, okay, thank you. And I'm like, well, weren't you a raging feminist? You know, like the other day.
Like,
you know who in the space knows how to dance and is an absolute pimp and no one really knows?
Cappy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cappy's an instructor.
Ballroom dance instructor on his books. And
he also knows how to swing and stuff too. The first time I went and hung out with him, we went like Cappy took me all over the place, and he lives out in the cow pasture too, half the year, and he and his girl took me to this like biker bar, and they had like a live jazz band or something, and he's just like, hey Paul, we'll be right back, and he just like led his girl out on the floor, and they just busted out into a swing dance and shit, and I was like, what the fuck.
Another thing that I've noticed, it's happened to me personally. When I went to Orlando in 22 to hang out with MLD, me and Jason, you guys might know Jason with a I instead of a A-N or O-N. We went to a cocktail bar in downtown Orlando near UCF that was doing their bachata night. I don't know how to freaking do any of that type of dance, but just because me and Jason went out there and just started dancing, we had all the chicks around us. So just be a little fearless.
Women. That was one. The only good tip my mom ever gave me was learn how to dance because women love to dance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I was out there on the dance floor twirling them around and like just following the beat and just moving my feet as I felt necessary and was leading.
And here's an interesting thing, a dynamic that I see too for the black pillars out there. Sometimes I'll see a guy like a tall 6'4", dressed to the nines guy, right? I think last time I saw it was a tall 6'4" black guy, just like looked like, you know, nice suit, looked confident, but he just stayed on the sidelines the whole night. He didn't ask any girls to dance. He was like, you know, and then there was a 5'6" guy, black guy as well, wearing Air Forces shorts, and he was dancing all night with women, right? Honestly, I don't recommend you go out like that, looking like that, right? But like, and you see just like, it's all about action. It's all about taking action, right? You want to present yourself well, but at the end of the day, the foundation is I have to go and lead and take a girl out. I have to, and even if I'm not confident enough, you can just simply say, hey, can you help me with my moves? And girls will be happy, you know? So yeah, leave that pride and ego at the door, you know?
Yeah. Going back to the course, Nuke, you brought it up at the beginning about pictures and the importance of pictures on your dating app profiles. Even if you're going to use the social media game, like your pictures are paramount. One of the things I teach in the course is that basically, from my perspective, dating apps come down to four things: the quality of your pictures, your bio, how you open, and how you close, right? And so all that stuff I talk about in the course, but going to pictures, you mentioned, you know, especially guys out here in cow country, they all have hunting pictures. They all have pictures of fish and shit. You know how many guys lose their mind when I say, hey guys, don't put fucking fish pics up, right? Guys like
fish pics, unsolicited fish pics.
Guys will die on that fucking hill, and it's like, dude, it's not effective. It's like, but I got to show I'm a provider, and it's like, no, you realize chicks could go to the grocery store now, right? Like, you don't have to. You're not out there hunting and gathering anymore. Like, it's not an effective strategy.
Wait till she likes you to show her that stuff about you. You know, wait.
Yeah, it just doesn't belong on the dating apps. And one of the things I go through in the course is like 6 recommended pictures that I talk about. And if you look at the pictures I show in the course, they are all almost all of them are professionally done. And they're done, I specifically grabbed them from a guy, because one of the things I offer as a part of my coaching program is I'll help you find a local photographer in your area, one that knows how to do dating apps specifically, because you can't just go to any professional photographer. A lot of like, especially women photographers don't understand what makes a guy more attractive in a picture, right? They don't understand like smile theory and shit, right? And if you guys don't know what that is, smile theory, I learned this in the book Atomic Attraction, but there's studies that are done that show that women are more attracted to a guy that's not smiling all the time. They're more attracted to a guy that has a brooding look or even a playful smirk. But a shit-eating fucking toothy grin in every picture is not attractive because it makes you look like a nice guy. And women don't like nice guys. So there's stuff like that I talk about in the course. And but yeah, I mean, if you really want to optimize your profiles, you're going to want to spend a little bit of money on good pictures if you can afford it. And if you can't, selfies aren't it. Like, you don't want to do a lot of selfies. You go get a tripod and use the timer feature on your camera phone.
Yeah, there's a lot of accounts on Instagram that have like that are photographers that'll teach you for free how to take certain pictures, angles, and stuff like that. You just gotta care. You just gotta go on Instagram and look up photography, and there'll be people like, "Hey, here you have an iPhone, right? Here's how to get a picture like this," and they'll run you through how to sit, how to look at the camera, and all that. And boom, you already got a selfie that you can use for professional reasons or for a dating app or whatever, or send it to your mom or something.
I like how I Googled unsolicited fish pic and I actually got a result.
That's so funny.
I think another thing that you don't bring up in your course, either one, the lot or your book or the course, is a lot of people don't think about it, but I've found it useful, is using both Face App and Photo Feeler.
Oh yeah, photo. I thought I do bring it. I talk about it in the book.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, using Photo Feeler is a good way of just sort of crowdsourcing. How
good pics are,
how well your pics are and stuff.
Photo
like that.
Feeler, what's that?
It's a website called photofeeler.com, and you can upload. You can pay for it, or you can get like free through Karma by rating other people's pictures. But you put up a picture of your own stuff, and then you ask like, "Hey, here's the demographic of women I want to look at this for dating apps." So then, if you're like, I want to say anything below a 7, don't put it on the dating app. At 7 and above, I think 9's the top score. Put it on the dating app. You can
Really?
also curtail your photos if you want to make your Instagram pop. Like, hey, my Instagram's specifically for dating only. Use the same method. And then Face App, even in its free version, which is nice, is if you got fucked up yellow teeth or fucked up grill, you can put in a fake fucking smile.
Oh,
I don't, because they're gonna see that anyway. I don't recommend
it's using
doing
it on them. Using makeup like they do.
But I like this comment. I'm just picturing. So you got the cork board, right? And I've got a map of Vegas, and I got a little 4x6 with the red yarn going to their house.
Right. I banged all these chicks. Yeah.
The conspiracy theory map.
Yeah. That's funny.
And you make sure they don't know each other. Make sure they can't be tied together.
Yeah, like unlike Nuke, who's on a friggin' Facebook page. Are we dating the same dude?
Congratulations, dude. That's...
I did a whole stream about that yesterday, Nuke.
Oh, you did? I didn't. What was I doing yesterday? I think yesterday
How dare
was
you?
Getting
How
more
dare
names
you?
on the list.
How dare you not show up and watch the live stream?
Oh, I was in
those,
meetings. Yeah, I was in meetings in the morning. Usually, on my drives to work, I catch Paul Bauer's show, and that's like I'm at a red light and I'm like texting, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Just gonna. So, but yeah, well, it's interesting that obviously it's pre-selection, and like I said it in my dating thread, like treating girls. There are certain girls that if you treat them bad, even by accident, they will just follow you. They may hate you, but they'll post about you. They're doing your job for you, which is marketing you, right? And good for a guy, bad marketing is just marketing. If they say this guy did this to me, this, that, and all the girls are going to notice like, oh, I like his smile. Even though he screwed you over, I think this guy, I like his smile.
She's just
so
jealous.
Yeah, exactly.
He screwed her over. I'm better than her. He'll treat me different.
Yeah, and women will throw each other under the bus for a guy. I know you guys have seen this. Women will absolutely betray another girl for a guy.
This absolutely happened to me. One of my plates met a former plate somewhere out and about, and they started talking, and they figured out that that they are, have both seeing me, and my current plate talking me up made my former plate reach back out to me wanting to get back together.
Easy. It's like you got to leave a resume for women behind, right? That depends on what type of guy you are, but like that was on accident. I didn't mean to treat that girl that way, and guess what? That girl that did that, we went on a date the other day, so we're all good.
one of the things I talked about is a story out of Atomic Attraction about this guy Paolo and this girl Imogen, and how he was hitting on all these girls at this hostel in Europe, right? And all the girls would talk shit about him behind his back and be like, "Oh, what a creep," and all this stuff. And so he hit on this girl Imogen, and so she went and told all of her friends, and all of her friends were talking smack, and she's like, "Yeah, who does he think I am?" Later that night, she went up to his room and he took her to Pound Town. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter even if they're talking smack. It's like in their head, they have a different picture going on of what's going on, you know, and they're just, you know, they want to save face around the girls, so they'll join in the shit talking, but in it, you know, they're like, nah, he chose me, y'all are just jealous, you know. So what, AJ, you brought up social media and making sure that your pictures are good on social media. I talk about that in the course too. You want to make sure that if you're going to use the Facebook method or the Instagram method that I talk about, that you're curating your pictures and you're making it attractive, and you're only showing stuff that showcases your fun, exciting lifestyle. You don't want to be posting negative shit about politics and how, you know, you don't like Biden or you don't like Trump or whatever the fuck you know, people post about. You don't want to talk shit about women. You don't want to do any of that stuff. You want to only really post things that make you look more attractive, because women want to join your lifestyle.
Yeah, dude, because I just I was off Facebook for a year and a half. I just brought it back. Actually started like a month ago with just Facebook dating, but like keeping my profile the way it was before. And since then, like I think this weekend or during my weekend before, I brought back my Facebook and I spent an hour freaking deleting posts over a 4-year period. I'm like, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If Instagram, if you have like really crappy pictures, go ahead and start archiving them. That doesn't mean delete them. Maybe save them to your phone, like you have pictures with your family. But like, understand that Instagram is like your premier dating app right now. Yeah. You know,
or create a separate account specific for dating. You know, like that's an option too. One good thing that you get on Facebook that you don't get on Instagram, besides the granularity, being able to find chicks easier, is you also get a little bit of social proof, because once you start, you know, you have friends and family and you're in a local area. Sometimes these chicks that you find also have like connections. So you're going to get already, they'll go, oh, he knows that so-and-so. And automatically that sort of boosts you, you know, on the, in their eyes, you know, so you get a little bit more social proof than you would get on a dating app with that method. And then finally, I think we can start wrapping up here, I think, guys. But one also cool benefit that I teach in the course about using Facebook and Instagram is that you don't get on the apps is the ability to virtually cold approach. Because one of the reasons why cold approach and social circle game and meeting women in person is so much more effective typically than dating apps is because women get to see all of your faculties. They get to see your body language. They can see your facial expressions. They can hear your voice, right? They can see how funny you are. They can see how bold you are. They can see your confidence, right? So a lot of that stuff, even if you're sort of challenged in the looks department, that stuff comes across better in person when, you know, because women respond to a man's confidence and boldness like the same way a guy responds to a woman's hot tits. You know what I mean? So they're just hardwired.
Hot flaming tits.
They're hot flaming tits. So if you're online dating and you're using social media, one of the cool things you can do when you slide into her DMs that will set you apart from 97% of the other dudes out there is sending a video message and opening with a virtual cold approach. And that's something that most guys aren't doing out there. And that by itself will set you apart from pretty much every other guy. So that's one of the things that I teach in the course as well.
Oh, there's Jason right there. My buddy that did the bachata dancing.
Do you get filtered out automatically? Do you? I don't know about that. Chicks like older guys. I think that's a self-limiting belief, you know, because chicks like they call us silver foxes, bro. You know what I mean?
His mane is absolutely gorgeous. I'll just tell you guys that. His mane is.
Yeah. That's just another debate. The whole girls like guys their age, yet they complain about guys their age not leading, not having money, whatever complaints. And it's just like, yeah, in the real world, girls love dating older guys because it solves so many problems for them. You know?
Oh yeah, he means the age filter, the literal age filter they apply.
I mean,
Oh,
I age filter out girls in the dating apps.
I age filter out old ass bitches too. Yeah,
like,
fuck that.
28's like my top.
Wish you could filter by weight.
Oh God, they'll never let that
yeah.
happen. They'll never let that.
They can
happen.
you can filter by height, but you can't filter by weight,
could-
right?
Yeah,
You can-
28 to 33. You don't want to date those girls. You
No.
want
You
to.
can
I wish you
filter
could
by
do two
income.
filters.
Did you
18
know
to
that?
27, and then 34 to 50.
See,
I don't know.
see, I'm 44, so 28 to 33. That's perfect for me. I like that age. You know.
Yeah, well,
for someone like
it's
me,
because that's when they hit the wall and they
epiphany
just start
age.
being like shitty, you know. Like
Dude,
just,
I've noticed
Some of
that,
them are,
especially
yeah.
here, like that age range, 28 to 33. A lot of them are like, I know my worth.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like they're looking for the beta bucks. And it's like, nah, fuck you, bitch.
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of I mean, you'll find those in any age group, though. You know, honestly,
Yeah.
you will. You know, those you know, those annoying negative bitches filter themselves out.
the best are the 38-year-olds, 39 that are
Oh,
just
yes.
that gave up on love. Those are the best. Those are so
Those-
much
those
fun.
are quick lays, and it's actually good
Yeah.
sex.
Yeah, they're actually really fun to be around because there's like no expectation. They're not like, you know, waiting for you to marry them. You know, they're just like,
Yeah.
whatever, I don't care anymore. Let's just have fun.
I've noticed that a lot with them too. It's just like, yeah, I have needs, you have needs. Let's just get it fucking knocked out.
Exactly.
Let's just bang it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just-
All right. Let's go ahead and wrap up here. Go around the horn. We'll start with AJ. What are your final thoughts on this, and where can people find you online, man?
So my final thoughts is buy Paul's course. I think, again, because I've talked to him in private chats, I think he's underselling it. It's a good course. Just that social media one alone, I think, is worth the current price for it. You can find me at Arm Details for YouTube, AR Matthews 33 for X, AJMK6R20 on Instagram, and then depending on what's going on with the car, I will be doing a review of Paul's course tomorrow night on live stream, and then Thursday I'll be doing an interview with Vince from Masculine Geek.
Ooh, Vince is pretty awesome. I love
Vince is fun to talk to,
Oh,
man.
Vince
Yeah.
is awesome.
All right, Mike, what's going on with you, man?
Just going to be having some fun at the Super Bowl at an undisclosed location tomorrow afternoon. I also agree, buy Paul's course. Paul, I am halfway done auditing it. Just been super busy. And yeah, guys, don't, you know, if something is working for a dude, don't poo-poo it. Why not just try it? You know, what's it going to hurt? You know, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. I mean, you know, I'm not 20. That's for 20-year-olds, or dancing stupid. I don't want to do that. It's for switch hitters. Nah, guys, like you need to stand out. And if you want something you've never had, you're going to have to do something you've never done.
Oh, well said. Well said.
Yep.
All right, my man Nuke.
Final
with you,
thoughts. My ass in bio. That's all I get. No, I'm just kidding. Final thoughts is basically, guys. Like I said, there's a lot of people who talk about women, men, intersexual dynamics. All they can offer you is what is. Hey, women are like this, men are like that. I'm like, great, but you need like kind of like a mental model to go through this. And I'd say, hey, you have to figure out a way. Like I said, you're probably gonna enjoy boobs for like until you're like 75, and then you're gonna die 2 years later.
Never.
Right, so you
stop
have to-
loving them.
Yeah, even in death. But you have to do something about this reproductive problem. You have to find a solution. There's guys here that are trading notes. I know a lot of people will say, well, you know, they're just trying to sell courses to men that, you know, that are dumb. I'm like, no, young men aren't stupid. They're a little naive, but they're not stupid. So you guys take your ego out of it, try things, follow the course. Maybe a certain part of the course won't work for you, but maybe the rest of it will. Everyone here has experience and trade notes and all that stuff. So yeah, just find a way. You know, you'll be. I promise you'll be fine. Just keep at it. So yeah.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, and then I'll add my closing thoughts here. I'm not trying to sell a course to someone that doesn't want the fucking course. Like if you are already killing it in dating and you're doing well, like you don't need the course, right? The course is for guys that are struggling a little bit and they're like, man, you know, this dating app thing just isn't working for me, but I also have a hard time meeting women in person. How am I going to meet chicks? I'm going to die alone. Like, no, man, you don't have to die alone. Like just just do these things. They're not even that hard, and you'll have much better results. So I like to say it's not that dating apps suck. It's that most guys suck at using dating apps. So just unsuck yourself. Right? So
whoa, Paul. Whoa.
Unsuck yourself. So tune in, guys. Tune into the podcast Monday morning. I'm joined by a guy who I think is highly underrated in the space. He goes by Alpha Villains. He and Offie Kingdom, they interviewed me a couple months ago, and I've already had Offie on, so I wanted to have Avi on. We talk about how Red Pill space is like an Ip Man Kung Fu movie. So tune into that Monday. It's a great conversation. Guys, get an autographed copy of my book. I have autographed copies available. These were selling out like crazy. And so I was like, oh, I better order a whole bunch. So now I have a whole fucking bunch. So I got to get rid of these things. So guys, buy an autographed copy from me. They're the same price as you would find on Amazon, but they also get an autograph, and I send them out. You'll actually get them quicker for me because you don't have to wait for the print on demand. Like I've already got them. They're already printed. So get those. And then check out the course, guys. We've been talking about this whole episode, but the course really will help you out. We teach you how to optimize your dating app profiles. If you guys hate dating apps, like a lot of guys hate dating apps, that's fine. Use the Facebook and Instagram methods that I talk about. That's gonna change the game for you. So I'll drop another link for that in the chat here. I'll play a short commercial for this, and then we will see you guys next week on the DragonShip.
Ready to upgrade your dating game? Introducing Paul's ultimate online dating course for men. Master the art of online dating and discover Paul's genius method to meet amazing women off the apps. The real secret sauce? Discover how to leverage Facebook and Instagram to meet amazing women in your local area. Not all hot women are on dating apps, but every woman on the planet is on social media. Learn how to find and connect with them with this revolutionary course. Say goodbye to swipe fatigue and hello to meaningful connections. Ready to transform your dating life? Click the link in the description now and start your journey to success today.